How's it going, everyone? This is your Astrology Horoscope for Monday, April 15th, 2024. I'm astrologer Alex Skyles, and welcome to the Moonbase. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. It definitely was interesting, to say the least. I mean, the moon in Gemini kind of bringing on a lot of strange things popping up in our lives and a lot of strange conversations that we had all weekend, and definitely that moon triggered the square point of where the eclipse happened. So, today the moon is still in Cancer, and it will sextile Jupiter and Uranus, right? So this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is starting here. So all week, we're going to be feeling Jupiter and Uranus. That is the highlight of the week, right? This is the week that Jupiter and Uranus is happening. The official conjunction is this week, within the next 5 days. So this moon is going to sextile over this Jupiter-Uranus area here at 20 degrees, 21 degrees. Jupiter's at 20, Uranus is at 21. So, I think a lot of the emotional stuff and the security issues are definitely connected to our, the relationship stuff that we're working out, going through these eclipses and these nodal cycles. I think today we can start to see a positive expansion in that area and start to understand, the decisions I've made through these eclipses and what I've had to face, I think we could start to feel a little bit more secure in how that future is evolving and expanding based upon the decisions that we made, The moon will square the sun right after this, but right after the moon makes the sextile to Jupiter, then it will sextile Uranus right after that, after, this kind of very quick interaction between the moon and Jupiter and Uranus today. It's very fast, and Uranus is moving very quickly. Jupiter is also moving very fast. I think it's one of the fastest planets in the sky right now. So, I think we can finally get on the other side of things here with these eclipses. I think what we've seen in the world play out over the weekend, we've all said, I hate to be like, oh, I predicted that, blah, blah, blah. It's like any astrologer out here who's doing the real work. We all know what this is, right? We've seen the whole Iran-Israel thing fucking start to really pop off. Okay, we got to think back to the eclipses in October when all this shit really was triggered, right? So on that eclipse that week of October 7th and 8th, this is right, and the 14th, but it was pre-eclipse in October where, that shit popped off. Here we are 6 months later on the second set of eclipses since those events. Now we're starting to see them play out even more so. So you can bet by October, which will be the last eclipses with the nodes here in Aries and Libra, that, the shit's going to be on a whole nother level, So that's another story. But, we can see how these eclipses really, truly play out, if we're looking at what's going on in the world, and it definitely is very much testing our security and where we feel safe and where we feel comfortable. It's like, who can we trust? What can we trust? There's so much, questioning of what is real and what is true with all this Pisces energy still. A lot more of that is going to be coming out, but at the end of the day, with Chiron in Aries, Mercury, the Sun, Venus in Aries, we got to keep doing our own thing here, and this moon is supporting Jupiter and Uranus today. So emotionally, we can really feel like, okay, in our own personal lives, things are expanding in a positive way, and this week we're going to see, just what that's going to look like, especially by the time we get to next weekend or this coming weekend. So, I think when it comes to our emotional security and the materials and the things and the physical things we need in the world and in our lives that make us feel secure, I think we can see some blessings come through this week, things that can benefit our lives, kind of show up in places that, we didn't really expect, from places that we didn't really expect. I think we can see that. And it's more basic things, this Jupiter-Uranus is fucking jackpot energy, right? This is that, you throw $100 down and you turn that $100 into 100,000, right? Like, this is just like overnight, bam, anything can happen here. But we got to remind ourselves too that, with the moon here supporting Jupiter and Uranus, it's not just about, those kinds of material things. It's the material things that make us really feel secure and feel emotionally connected to the value of those material things, And I think today is the day where things can come into our lives that we can really be grateful for, the things we do have in our lives where we can be secure and feel safe, because definitely in other parts of the world, it's not that way, Wherever you're at, especially in America or, in other parts of Europe, it's like at the moment we have a lot to be grateful for, because, all the craziness going on. It's like not everybody has, the emotional security that we have. So I think utilizing this energy in a positive way, going into this Jupiter-Uranus, I think we could start to really attract, more things that we need, not what we want. When it comes to Taurus, it's not necessarily what we want. I think the dark side of Taurus is more of like, I want this, I want that. Like, if I just had this, like, it would just fill this need. It's like, or this desire, which is that Scorpio-Taurus polarity. But with Taurus, like, it's all about what you need. I need food. I need water. I need money. I need, love. I need touch. I need pleasure. I need to experience. I need to feel. That's Taurus, the basic human needs. That's what Taurus is all about. Scorpio is like, I want this. I want that. I want it now. And I want it deep. You know what I mean? Like, so I think with this moon making a good aspect going into this week to Jupiter and Uranus, it's like the things we need can really show up this week in ways that we didn't really expect. And this moon will square the sun. So this kind of conflict that we've been feeling with this moon in Cancer, I think can start to get really, this is where the highlights of what this conflict that we've been experiencing emotionally, especially connected to our security and our emotional security, can really show up. It's like, hey, we all need to feel secure in this situation. We all need to do what's best to make ourselves feel secure, to help us be secure, And as this is happening, this is when Mercury, Chiron have their conjunction, So it's like feeling insecure, about ourselves, And I think some insecurities can really pop up today, but I think when we can really look at these insecurities, especially about ourselves, or feeling insecure about our relationship issues that we've been going along with, it's like, if you're still stuck in the same old South Node Libra stuff, it's like there can definitely be some insecurities that can pop up here, But this moon is definitely highlighting. This moon squaring the sun can highlight, like where it really lies, where the insecurities are really coming from. And I think it's just from the basic needs of your own security, because and this is the thing. It's like Aries is nothing without Cancer. Cancer is nothing without Libra. And Libra is nothing without Capricorn, So if you want to be the best version of your Aries self, like, you got to have security in your life. You can't just be off on your own trail all the time and be caught up in your own selfish ways. So this Mercury making this Chiron conjunction can really give us some messages and some insights today, some more pieces to the puzzle, about our own internal wounds that we've been facing for a while. Definitely all of 2024 so far, but Mercury still is retrograde. So Mercury will go direct here by a little less than 2 weeks. So the 25th. So yeah, 10 days from now, Mercury will be direct. So then we can have all the messages, but more issues are popping up. The more messages about the issues and more conversations about the issues, and more relationship conversations need to be had today, and it's connected to our emotional security. It's like, I don't feel secure here. I don't feel safe in this place. I don't feel safe in this relationship. I don't feel safe in myself. I don't feel safe in my identity. Once Mercury can cross Chiron again and cross the nodes and we get out of eclipse season, this kind of conversation about our, sense of self and our insecurities and our wounded egos and our relationship stuff that is just holding us back, we'll start to move into different territory here, but we're still here, and even by the full moon in Scorpio, like, we're still going to kind of be in that kind of stuff, and, the sun will square Pluto here in just a freaking, by the end of the week. So, there's definitely some intense energy that's coming through here. But I think focusing on self-healing is the way to really move through that, and I think with this Venus in Aries getting closer to the North Node, when it comes to our self-worth and our identity and the ego issues that we've been dealing with Chiron, it's like, once Venus gets to the North Node and Mercury crosses the North Node and comes direct and crosses the North Node again and crosses Chiron again, we're going to start to understand that, about what this all has been, all these things that have kind of popped up and how things have really shifted and changed in our lives, because our lives are about to expand in the most radical, intense way going through this week and next week, because this Jupiter-Uranus is going to kick off for a while. This energy is going to be lingering for a minute here, but we're laying our manifestation, at this moment, and we have been. Taurus is slow burning, so we've been building Tauruses for a while. The things that you've been putting in through this Taurus, Jupiter and Taurus transit, this goes back to when the North Node was in Taurus, in 2022, January 2022 to July 2023. And it's those things, the karmic trail you left. That's what the nodes are all about, is the karmic trail of the past and the future. The karmic trail you left when the North Node was in Taurus, 2022, 2023, that's what is going to be expanding, and that's how Taurus works. It's long-term. It lasts forever. It makes things last forever. And this Jupiter-Uranus is going to be expanding our lives in ways that we have not seen, since 1940. The Jupiter-Uranus conjunction happens every 13, 14 years roughly. But we're never going to see Jupiter and Uranus conjunct in Taurus again for the rest of our lives. If you exist right now, we won't see that again. So, unless you're a child, a baby, you may see it. Uranus is an 84-year cycle. So, we want to be able to utilize this energy the best we can. And I think what it is too, it's, focusing on self-healing as much as we possibly can and manifesting, the material resources from unexpected ways and doing things that are totally unconventional and things you would never do before. All the things that you've been doing that you never thought you would do, or things you've been waiting to do where you finally pulled the trigger because you were uncomfortable or too insecure to do it. That's where Uranus and Jupiter are going to be rewarding, or expanding. Saturn rewards. That's the thing. Jupiter expands, Saturn rewards. Let's just get that straight. It's not like Jupiter is like, oh, here's a trophy. Saturn is what rewards you the trophy. Jupiter is like, hey, kid, you want some candy? Right? That's Jupiter. I mean, astrologers always call Jupiter the cool uncle of the zodiac, right? It's like, hey, you want some of this? Like, don't tell your parents. That's Jupiter. So put Jupiter and Uranus together. It's like, yeah, it can bring in a lot of positive things into our life. And definitely financially, especially, if you're taking financial risks at this moment, I think the rewards can really pay off, more than ever. We're not going to see this kind of, go ahead and take a risk kind of energy like in a long time. And definitely for the second half of 2024. Oh, my Jupiter-Uranus conjunction and Taurus reading sale is still available on my website. So click the link in the description of this video. The last week and a half of May is still open, and until Jupiter goes to Gemini, I'll leave it open. But there are spots still available. Go join that shit. I mean, to me, this is the most potent conjunction of the year. I mean, yeah, we had the Sun-Pluto conjunction, and Pluto moves into Aquarius. All good. But Pluto's not in Aquarius for good yet. Like, we're still not out of Pluto and Capricorn. I don't really care what anybody says. We're just getting like a appetizer of Pluto and Aquarius. We still have Pluto and Capricorn to finish out here. And by August, September, we're going to start feeling that. And Pluto's going to retrograde here in 2 weeks. So the first outer planet of the year will go retrograde in just 2 weeks. So this is like, I don't even count Mercury retrograde, to be honest with you, because it happens 3 times a year. But the window of all planets being direct has pretty much been closed. So, I hope you've been really laying it down and putting it in for the first 4 months of 2024, because Jupiter and Uranus is about to happen. This is it. Then the Sun will make his Jupiter conjunction. Venus will move into Taurus. Then Mercury. Mars will come into Taurus in June, July time. We've already laid the foundation here, especially in Capricorn season, when Mars was in Capricorn. We've been really putting it in, and we had a massive boost this year because coming into 2025, when Pluto goes back into Aquarius for good, Mars will be retrograde. We're going to be going into 2025 during a Mars retrograde in Leo, which sucks. Mercury or Mars retrograding in Leo is no fun. Mars retrograding in fire signs is no fun. Because Mars and fire signs, it's like, that's where it wants to fucking make it happen. That's where it wants to hit the gas, So this is the time. 2024, the first half of 2024 is the best astrology that we are going to have for a while. So we want to be using this Jupiter Uranus the best we can, and in realistic ways too. It's Taurus. It's practical. But it is possible. It's just like, damn, like it's like when that whole freaking thing with GameStop happened with the stock market, right? And all these like 19-year-old, video game kids just like became millionaires overnight. Like it is that kind of energy, and I'm not one here to like kind of promote that way of thinking or going about life, but there are moments in the sky that happen where those opportunities are there, but you could be experiencing luck in unexpected ways, really wherever it's at in your chart. If you have a Jupiter 8th house or a Jupiter Uranus conjunction in your 8th house, you may see some nice financial gain, or your 2nd house, So, good for you. We have the Temperance card, This is a very Aquarian card to me, So there is, these messages that are flowing through from unexpected, interesting places that we did not even think were possible. This is a very Uranian Aquarian card. So this is like, the current of the unknown and the unexpected. I think this week, definitely starting off this week, we want to be able to enter those places, and be comfortable there. It's hard to be comfortable there, especially when this moon's in Cancer squaring the sun in Aries. It can be hard. It can be hard to be, dealing with the unknown. It can be very uncomfortable. But I think if we're willing to embrace that, like we can peer into other dimensions to get other perspectives. And I don't mean dimensions in some alien way. It's like, we have dimensions within our own mind, our own consciousness, and to access, many dimensions. That's what Aquarius does best. Aquarius operates on many dimensions at once. I think, they call the Aquarian or the Uranian energy, genius kind of energy, but what it really is being able to compartmentalize and detach yourself to be able to access multiple facets and multiple dimensions at once instead of attaching to just one emotion, which is hard to do in Aries time and with the moon in Cancer or this Chiron in Aries, So, discernment and detachment and being able to observe many perspectives and many dimensions can really give us the messages we need and help us expand in very unique, unexpected ways, which can really light up our lives in positive ways, and God bless the people who are going through difficulty in the world or in places where they don't feel safe, Like if you're in a position in your life, especially today with this moon in Cancer squaring the sun in Aries, like if you feel like you're in a place where you're not safe or you're uncomfortable or you don't feel, get the fuck out. Like, make a decision. Don't be stuck there. That's what these eclipses are trying to push us. Not trying, like it will push you karmically, to make a change. And that's the thing. That's why I think astrology is helpful, because it can give us an opportunity to look at things in a different way, to help us think about things, to make more quality decisions by being able to look at things from different perspectives, instead of going in blind. It's not like you there's a guarantee with anything. But I think knowledge and having multiple perspectives and being willing to go there and have the conversation and think about things is what helps us make better quality decisions, instead of being at the, at the mercy of our own karma or our own cataclysmic, downfall where change is always forced. Because we do hit those moments, and especially during massive Pluto transits, we hit those moments of cataclysmic change that is beyond your control, Uranus works in a different way. Uranus works in ways where it will totally radicalize and change your life in ways that you didn't expect, but always for a higher purpose to teach you a bigger lesson. Pluto just doesn't fuck around, And Pluto's going to retrograde here in just 2 weeks, around May 3rd, roughly, May 2nd, May 3rd. So we want to be, utilizing this Jupiter-Uranus energy this week as much as we possibly can to expand our lives in a more practical, material way. And also, too, wherever it's happening in your chart, whatever your chart looks like with this Jupiter-Uranus, you may be experiencing some massive luck in your life. I think Jupiter's on our side right now, and we're not going to have that for the rest of the year. This is the moment. So we want to be able to take that and expand in the best possible and the most healthiest ways. We don't want to overexpand, because that's the thing about Jupiter. It's like Jupiter's like a balloon. That's how Jupiter works, and that's how the whole cycle of Jupiter works, right? When Jupiter's direct, it's like you're pumping air into a balloon, and then Jupiter goes retrograde, the balloon pops, right? And then Jupiter comes direct. It's like we're pumping up the balloon again. And then Jupiter comes retrograde, it pops the balloon. It's like, that's what a Jupiter cycle is like, right? So this balloon is expanding in ways we've never experienced before. And we want to be on top of that and utilizing as much as we can this week, because this is the week. So I hope you guys have a great Monday. I will see you all on Tuesday. And if you're new here, like this channel, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, say what's up. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify. These horoscopes go to Spotify. All the links to all of my social media platforms are in the description of this video. If you click down in the subscription, and my Jupiter Uranus conjunction in Taurus reading sale is still available, so you can go to my booking website, which is also with all the links in the description of this video. It will be open until Jupiter comes into Gemini. Yay. Jupiter and Gemini will not conjunct with the sun until Jupiter comes into Cancer next year. This is the last badass Jupiter energy we're going to get. So, I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace out.